If you're facing a hysterectomy, there are probably some things your doctor's not telling you. Not on purpose, but just because they probably haven't had one and therefore they don't know these things. So I blog a lot on my experience of having a hysterectomy, and I started writing a blog the other day, which is things no one tells you. And I actually came up with 25 things, which is loads. And I actually think I could come up with more, but I thought I should stop. So I'm going to do part 1 now, probably going to do a part 2 or a part 3. So here we go. I hope you also have a cup of tea ready. So first of all is what vaginal cuff means. So if you're having a total hysterectomy, and that means your cervix removed as well, you're going to have a vaginal cuff, which is when the vagina is basically sewn up in place of the cervix. Obviously, you're going to need this. It's basically scar tissue, and there's a blog on this as well, which you can read lots more. I always feel a little bit sad. Like, you are losing organs, and it's okay that you feel a little bit sad about it. I had mine 5 years ago and I definitely still feel sad. When you do, just recognise that emotion and let yourself feel it. I'm great at preaching this, terrible at practicing it, but I still haven't fully got over it, and that is okay. It's a very, very big life-changing event, especially if you're young and you wanted more children, for example. So I've put it surprisingly empowering because I think any life-changing event can actually be quite empowering. It forces you to think about your life, think about what you're doing, your situations, let go of things that no longer serves you, live life differently. It really does make you reflect, and I think that there is something very empowering about that. I certainly know that I changed quite a lot, and I don't necessarily think it was for the worst. So number 4 is that people won't know what to say. They won't know what to say because people don't talk about it, so we aren't educated. For example, if you say to somebody, my nan died, you know how to deal with that. You understand the grief that person's going through. Not everyone's going to understand the grief of having major surgery like this and what that means. I have lost count of how many times people have stumbled on their words when I get the dreaded question, are you having more kids? And I tell them the truth because I'm quite honest. Number 5 is that the inability to have children will probably affect you. I'm not saying it definitely will, but even people that I speak to that have had hysterectomies in their 40s and they're past even thinking about having children, it's more that that opportunity is taken away from you. So there might still be an element of grief, and you might still be slightly affected by that more than what you realise. This leads me on to number 6 though. Controversial, I know, but you actually can still have children, just in a different way. You can look into surrogacy, fostering, adoption. You could just take it upon yourself to be the best auntie to your friends or your siblings' children, for example. There are ways. Like, I truly believe if there is a child, a soul in this life, in this world that is meant to be with you, it will find its way. Number 7 is that you are going to need supplements. I wrote a blog on supplements to take after a hysterectomy, and it gets thousands and thousands and thousands of hits per month because people will need supplements. So potentially the doctor has said to look into supplements, but you should speak to your doctor if it was anything related to cancer and stuff before taking any supplements. But things like magnesium, really, really great for bone and joint health now you're in the menopause. You might be finding you're more anxious, so you might want to look into ashwagandha. If you're struggling to sleep in, which is quite common, then you might find that CBD is really helpful. If you're struggling with thrush and UTIs, you might want to look into probiotics. There are options out there. That was 4 minutes. So I'm going to do a part 2 and a part 3 on this, okay? So bear with me.